this advanced English lesson with the news, we're going to read a news article together about China's new AI app, DeepSeek. And this method will help you speak English in only 30 minutes. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. Our headline, DeepSeek, the Chinese AI app that has the world talking. So DeepSeek is the name of the Chinese AI app. And AI stands for, of course, artificial intelligence. Let's review this expression, that has the world talking. This means that the Chinese AI app, the something, has produced, generated, caused a lot of attention, debate, or discussion. It could be positive, it could be negative, it could be neutral. We don't know. And you don't have to use the world. You could use this in a more limited group as well. Let's review this example. My presentation had the audience talking. Now notice the subject is my presentation, that's a something, and I conjugated my verb have in the past simple. Here it's in the present simple and it's conjugated with it, third person singular, the Chinese AI app, it has the world talking. So my presentation in the past, maybe I gave it yesterday, had the audience talking. So the audience was discussing it, debating it. Maybe it was positive, maybe it was negative. Or you could say Jennifer's new lesson, where we learn English with the news, has her students talking. Now notice this uses the structure in the present simple. You could put it in the past if you wanted as well. And I certainly hope this style of lesson where we learn English with the news has you talking, because it's such an amazing way to improve your English. If you agree with that, put that's right, that's right. I hope it has you talking. Put that's right in the comments. And don't worry about taking notes, because I summarize everything in a free lesson PDF. You can find the link in the description. Now let's continue and learn about DeepSeek. A Chinese-made artificial intelligence, so now they define what AI is, artificial intelligence, and of course the acronym AI, a Chinese-made. So instead of saying just a Chinese AI, a Chinese-made. So just emphasizing this more. But this functions as an adjective. It describes the artificial intelligence model. A Chinese-made artificial intelligence model called DeepSeek has shot to the top of Apple Store's downloads. To shoot to the top means to quickly rise to the top. So that's shoot, because of course that happens very quickly. Now the infinitive is to shoot to the top, and then here is conjugated in the participle form, which is shot, and the past simple is also shot. So let's look at this example. I shot to the top of my class. So you quickly rose to the top of your class. You achieved the highest position quickly. Now this is the past simple. I know this because this is the conjugation in the past simple. I shot to the top of my class after improving my English with Jennifer's Learn English with the News lessons. I hope that's true for you. And now my success has everyone talking. So here the something is my success, has conjugated in the present with the subject, third person singular. My success has everyone. You could say has my class, for example. My class, my teachers, my family talking. So this is always in the ing form. Let's continue. Stunning investors and sinking some tech stocks. Let's review stunning and sinking. Now first, some tech stocks. What does the word tech mean? Technology. So the short form is tech. In this context, stunning means shocking or surprising. It was so great and it was so unexpected that it causes you to say, wow, I can't believe it. Wow, that's amazing. That's incredible. Wow. Stunning investors.
Now, I say in this context because the word stunning is also commonly used as an adjective to say that something is beautiful. You're stunning. You're beautiful. Or you could commonly describe scenery. For example, the sunset last night was stunning, was beautiful. That's very commonly used. But in this context, they're not saying the investors are beautiful. They're saying that the investors are shocked. Wow. And here, sinking means going down. Now, of course, the Titanic sank. It went down. But in this case, sinking, go down in terms of value. So sinking in terms of losing value. So the stock was this price, but then DeepSeek shot to the top and the value went down of some tech stocks.
Are you enjoying this lesson? If you are, then I want to tell you about the Finally Fluent Academy. This is my premium training program where we study native English speakers from TV, movies, YouTube, and the news so you can improve your listening skills of fast English, expand your vocabulary with natural expressions, and learn advanced grammar easily. Plus, you'll have me as your personal coach. You can look in the description for the link to learn more, or you can go to my website and click on Finally Fluent Academy. Now let's continue with our lesson.
Its latest version, of course, this means the latest version of DeepSeek, the AI app. Its latest version was released in late January. Now notice here, the preposition is in January. And then late meaning the last week, the last few days of. But if you had a specific day, I don't know when it was, but let's say January 23rd, because that would be late January, what preposition would you use? Of course, you would use on. So in January, not specific, but then when you add the specific date, on January 23rd. So in late January, quickly impressing, you could say stunning. Perhaps it's not the exact synonym, but it has a similar meaning. Wow, wow. Because when you're stunned, you say, wow. But impressing is always positive, whereas stunning, something can be stunning because it is more of a negative as well. So in this case, impressing is always positive, but stunning can be positive or negative depending on the context. And of course, the word impress means you feel admiration or respect. We commonly use these as adjectives in the ed form with the verb to be. I'm impressed that you finished the report early, because remember, a feeling of being impressed is always positive, but stunned can be negative. What? I'm stunned that you didn't finish the report on time. So I'm shocked, surprised, but in a more negative way. So let's review this again. Quickly impressing AI experts before it got the attention of the entire tech industry and the world. Said another way, you could use our expression from the headline before it, the app, DeepSeek, before it got the tech industry and the world talking. So before it got, first it was this industry and then it was the world. So because it had it here, but you could just say before it got the world talking if you want to include the tech industry. Now notice in our headline, it used the verb have. Conjugated. This app has the world talking. This app got the world talking. So why did I use got here instead of have? The verb get is used to transition. So the world wasn't talking and now the world is talking. So we can use get to talk about that transition from not talking, talking. The app got the world talking. Let's continue. US President Donald Trump said it was a wake-up call for US companies who must focus on competing to win. Ooh, okay, first of all, let's review US and US because the country United States of America, shortened as US, requires the article the. So it's always the US when you use it as the country, as the proper noun. But in this case, it's not being used as that. It's being used as an adjective, So you could say President Donald Trump. You're just using president as his official title, President Donald Trump. Like before, you would say Queen Elizabeth or King Charles. So you can just say President Donald Trump without an article, the. And then US describes what type of president. So it's an adjective. And here US describes the companies. So it's an adjective. In this case, you could also replace it with American companies because American is an acceptable adjective that also means US. Now let's review. It was a wake-up call. So this article is part of the expression. It's a wake-up call, a wake-up call. Do you know what that is? A wake-up call is something such as an event or a realization. You could read something, you could watch something, you could have a conversation. So a realization that makes you either take action or just think differently. So for example, not getting the promotion was a wake-up call. That event made you realize that you need to do something different. You need to improve your skills. You need to work on certain areas. You need to do something differently. You need to take action or think differently. So not getting the promotion was a wake-up call. So in this case, the fact that this new AI from China became so popular so quickly overnight is a wake-up call for the United States of America because they realize they need to take action or think differently. What makes DeepSeek so special is the company's claim that it was built at a fraction of the cost. So a fraction of the cost, instead of cost, you could say a fraction of the time, a fraction of the effort, a fraction of the risk. It means the smallest amount of. Let's say it takes 1 year to reach a high level of fluency, we'll say, for the average person. But then there's a software, a program, or a service that says you can become fluent in 90 days. It might say you can become fluent in a fraction of the time because it's a small amount compared to the total, which is 1 year. So you need to use this a fraction of and then something, the time, the cost, the effort, the risk. So hopefully these lessons help you improve your English in a fraction of the time. That's certainly my hope. So here it was a fraction of the cost of industry-leading models like OpenAI because it uses fewer advanced chips. So this is the reason why the new AI DeepSeek was built at a fraction of the cost. That possibility caused chip-making giant NVIDIA to shed almost $600 billion of its market value on Monday. In this context, the verb shed means to lose. So this company, NVIDIA, lost almost $600 billion of its market value on Monday in 1 day because of the fact that DeepSeek can make its app at a fraction of the cost. Now, shed as a verb can be commonly used in your daily routine if you have a pet, like a cat or a dog, because pets shed. And in this case, it also means maybe to get rid of, to lose, but their fur or hair. So you could say, my dog sheds like crazy. So the verb is to shed, and here it's in the present simple because you're stating a fact. My dog sheds like crazy. Now, like crazy is a very natural, a very native way of saying a lot, to a high degree. My dog sheds like crazy. Very common by native speakers. Now, given this, you might say, NVIDIA, the company, is now worth, so the total value, to be worth, that represents the total value. So you need your verb to be. NVIDIA is now worth a fraction of. So notice, a fraction of. This is very commonly used. A fraction of what it was worth before DeepSeek was introduced. So this is a more advanced sentence using a fraction of. Let's continue this part. The biggest one-day loss in U.S. history. Wow. Wow. Now notice here, U.S. is an adjective. Now you know this for two reasons. One, there's no article in front of it, and the article the is required when referring to the country. And also because it comes before the noun, which is history. In history. In history. So U.S. describes, well, what type of history? In U.S. history. Let's continue. DeepSeek also raises questions about Washington's efforts to contain Beijing's push for tech supremacy, given that one of its key restrictions has been a ban on the export of advanced chips to China. Let's review push for tech supremacy. Here, push means effort or attempt. So Beijing's effort, Beijing's attempt. So it's a noun, a push, a push. You probably know it as the verb to push a heavy object, for example, but here it's a push, an effort or an attempt to do something specific. And in this case, it's a push for tech supremacy. Supremacy means the ultimate, the most advanced, so leadership, dominance. So Beijing's effort or attempt to achieve dominance or leadership in the tech space. And here, if Washington is trying to contain Beijing's push for tech supremacy, it means it's trying to limit it, reduce it. So keep it small, just like you contain something within a space. So Washington, which represents the US government, wants to limit it. And how has it done that? By having a ban on the export of advanced chips to China. Let's continue. Beijing, however, has doubled down, with President Xi Jinping declaring AI a top priority. Let's review double down. This is a great expression. If you double down on something, if you double down here, the verb double is conjugated in the present perfect, has doubled down. It means you increase your efforts. So you usually do this when you're faced with a challenge. Now, double, you can think of it as you do twice as much, but that's not actually true. It can be any amount of increase, but that perhaps can help you remember it. Do twice as much. So maybe you could say failing my IELTS was a wake-up call. Remember this? A wake-up call, it's an event that caused you to take action or think differently. Now, maybe you could add on, I'm now doubling down on phrasal verbs. So on something, or if you have the verb, it's in the ing form because on is a preposition. Now remember, double is our verb. So this is in the present continuous. I am doubling down. I just added the word now. I'm doubling down on learning phrasal verbs because maybe your lack of phrasal verbs was the reason you failed your IELTS. So you're going to increase, maybe double your efforts in this specific area. Beijing, however, has doubled down, so has increased its efforts, with President Xi Jinping declaring AI a top priority. And startups like DeepSeek are crucial. Notice this pronunciation, crucial, crucial, crucial. And if you don't know, crucial is an adjective that means extremely important or necessary. So you might say, it's crucial, it is crucial that I learn phrasal verbs. You could also say phrasal verbs are crucial, are extremely important. Let's review this again. And startups like DeepSeek are crucial extremely important or necessary as China pivots. So if you pivot, it means you change direction. So from traditional manufacturing, such as clothes and furniture, to advanced tech. So we have these clothes, tech. So China is here, but is going to pivot. So it's going to change direction or do something different. So if you were only studying grammar rules, but neglecting natural vocabulary like phrasal verbs, you might want to pivot and start learning phrasal verbs because you know they're crucial. So you might want to change directions. And pivot is a verb, so you need to conjugate it. So here it has the S, which shows you that it's third person singular in the present simple because the subject is China. As China pivots from traditional manufacturing, such as clothes and furniture, to advanced tech, chips, electric vehicles, and AI. DeepSeek is the name of a free AI-powered chatbot, which looks, feels, and works very much like ChatGPT. That means it's used for many of the same tasks, though exactly how well it works compared to its rivals is up for debate. Let's review this is up for debate. This is an expression. So to be, your verb is to be. You conjugate this based on the subject and time reference. And then up for debate. These words remain fixed, and then you just change your verb to be. This means that something is open to discussion or disagreement. So there isn't a general consensus. Some people disagree or think differently, or whether something is good or bad is still being discussed, debated. Up for debate. We commonly use this if we want to say that you don't agree with someone's statement or opinion. For example, if someone says, studying grammar rules is the best way to become fluent, and you want to share that you don't think that's true, you can say, well, that's up for debate. That's up for debate. So that being what the person just said. And then this is my verb to be. That is up for debate. So you're saying that not everybody agrees with this. So rather than just saying, I don't agree, you're making it sound like not everyone agrees. That's up for debate. So this is a great expression to have in your vocabulary if you want to introduce that perhaps a statement is not true. And in this context, the thing that is up for debate is open to discussion or disagreement is how good DeepSeek is or will be. Let's continue. It is reportedly as powerful as OpenAI's O1 model. So OpenAI, that is the company that released ChatGPT. So when it says OpenAI, it also means ChatGPT. OpenAI's O1 model. So it's reportedly. This is an important word because it means some people say or some people claim, but not everyone agrees. It hasn't been proven as fact, but some people say it. If you didn't have this word, it is as powerful as OpenAI. It sounds like it's a factual statement. So there is evidence to show that, okay, here's the power of ChatGPT, here's the power of DeepSeek, and you can see that they are the same. Because as powerful as means the same level of power. So ChatGPT power and then DeepSeek power, that's as powerful as. Now, a lot of times my students forget this as, which might seem a little unusual, but you need as, adjective, as. Using our as, adjective, as structure, maybe you could say learning idioms is as, now we need an adjective. You could say as easy as difficult as crucial. Remember your new adjective, extremely important, necessary, as crucial as learning phrasal verbs, for example. So you have level of difficulty for idioms and then the same level of difficulty for phrasal verbs. That would be as difficult as. It is reportedly as powerful as OpenAI's O1 model released at the end of last year in tasks including mathematics and coding. Okay, so this part, because it's between dashes, it could also be between commas. It means you can remove it entirely and the sentence will be grammatically correct. So you can read it as OpenAI's O1 model in tasks including mathematics and coding. So these are the two tasks that it's saying it's reportedly as powerful as OpenAI's model. And that is the end of the article. So what I'll do now is I'll read the article from start to finish, and this time you can focus on my pronunciation. DeepSeek, the Chinese AI app that has the world talking. A Chinese-made artificial intelligence, AI, model called DeepSeek has shot to the top of Apple Store's downloads, stunning investors and sinking some tech stocks. Its latest version was released in late January, quickly impressing AI experts before it got the attention of the entire tech industry and the world. U.S. President Donald Trump said it was a wake-up call for U.S. companies who must focus on competing to win. What makes DeepSeek so special is the company's claim that it was built at a fraction of the cost of industry-leading models like OpenAI because it uses fewer advanced chips. That possibility caused chip-making giant NVIDIA to shed almost $600 billion of its market value on Monday, the biggest one-day loss in U.S. history. DeepSeek also raises questions about Washington's efforts to contain Beijing's push for tech supremacy, given that one of its key restrictions has been a ban on the export of advanced chips to China. Beijing, however, has doubled down, with President Xi Jinping declaring AI a top priority. And startups like DeepSeek are crucial as China pivots from traditional manufacturing, such as clothes and furniture, to advanced tech, chips, electric vehicles, and AI. DeepSeek is the name of a free AI-powered chatbot, which looks, feels, and works very much like ChatGPT. That means it's used for many of the same tasks, though exactly how well it works compared to its rivals is up for debate. It is reportedly as powerful as OpenAI's O1 model, released at the end of last year, in tasks including mathematics and coding.
Do you want me to make another lesson using trending news? If you do, put let's go, put let's go in the comments. And of course, make sure you like this lesson, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And here's another lesson I know you'll love. Watch it now.